Blade is back, bitches! Greetings, fanboys and fangirls, I'm Erod and I'm the Blockbuster Buster. The unprecedented success of the first Blade film gave way to many great things in the world of comic book movies, one of which being one of the greatest comic book movie sequels ever made.
Blade 2.
This time around, we have famed Spanish director Guillermo del Toro at the helm, popular for provocative sci-fantasy films like El Espinazo del Diablo. Under del Toro's direction, Blade took a more prominent turn towards true horror. But more on that later. First, let's look at
the plot.
Blade travels to Prague in an effort to rescue his mentor, Whistler, who apparently didn't die at the end of the last movie. Yeah, he was kidnapped by vampires instead. Feel free to call bullshit on that one if you like. Amidst rescuing Whistler, a new, more dangerous breed of vampires emerges, the Reapers, horrifying genetic mutations who are nearly indestructible and feed on both humans and vampires. So Blade has no choice but to team up with the very same vile vampires that he has hunted all his life, so they can stop the Reapers together.
Sounds like a plan.
What do you really think?
They're gonna fuck us the first chance they get.
Favorite character.
While they sadly omitted Dr. Karen Jensen in this movie, Wesley Snipes and Chris Christopherson are back, and they are both in fine form, bringing back all the swagger, gruffness, and humor from the last film.
We hunt.
Broad daylight?
You gotta be fucking joking.
Better get you some sunscreen, Buttercup.
Listen, shit kicker. You're about one cunt hair away from hillbilly heaven.
I'm level when you talk dirty.
In Whistler's absence, Blade still needed a weapons maker, so he recruited Scud, played by Norman Reedus, better known as Murphy from Boondock Saints and Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead. Scud is my type of guy. He knows how to make things that explode. He likes the Powerpuff Girls, and he wears a BPRD shirt. Plus, his scenes with Whistler are comedy gold.
Tell me something, Skid.
No man, it's Scud. Scud like stud, Scud.
Whatever.
I do have to mention that this movie has a hilarious running gag of Blade constantly running into and torturing a vampiric version of Santiago Segura. Now, for those of you who don't know, Santiago Segura is a famed Spanish comedian. So, just to put this into perspective, this is the equivalent of watching an episode of Angel, in which every other scene consists of Angel beating the shit out of Rob Schneider. I couldn't stop laughing during these scenes. It felt like Guillermo del Toro put a gag in the movie that was just for me. The main bad guy in this movie is the leader of the Vampire Nation, Lord Eli Damaskinos, played by Thomas Kretschmann. Kudos to the makeup effects team in this film, cause this character looks awesome. It's like if Count Orlok was sculpted from living marble. It's amazing. Damaskinos is your classic mansion-dwelling mastermind, orchestrating events from afar, keeping it classy. He has Jello for lunch, he chills out in his blood jacuzzi, but I couldn't help but wonder why he didn't have a few vampire wenches hanging around the mansion. But then I realized, he's a dad. He has to set a good example. As I said before, in this film, Blade teams up with the vampires, but not just any vampires, but the Blood Pack, a highly skilled team of vampire warriors who were originally trained to hunt Blade. They got a great group of actors to portray them all. First, you have their leader, the vampire princess Nisa, played by Leonor Varela. Her second in command, vampire ninja Assad, played by none other than Danny John Jules, better known as the Cat from Red Dwarf. Priest, played by Tony Curran, better known to you hardcore fanboys as the Invisible Man in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and Vincent Van Gogh in the Doctor Who episode Vincent and the Doctor. Their Snowman, played by none other than martial arts superstar Donnie Yen, who was also this movie's fight choreographer, and it shows. Bad motherfucker. But my favorite character is Bloodpack field leader Reinhardt, played by one of my top 5 favorite actors, Ron Perlman. This character is not a prick, he's a super prick.
Hey, me and the gang were wondering.
What was that?
Can you blush?
Now you got an explosive device stuck to the back of your hand. Silver nitrate. Rigged to go off if anybody tampers with it.
Bum on the back of the head. Gotta love it. Some of you might be quick to point out that Ron also played the titular role in the Hellboy films, which were also directed by Guillermo del Toro. Well, as it turns out, Ron wasn't the only Hellboy cast member in this film, as Guillermo del Toro jokingly claims that Blade 2 was the casting call for the Hellboy movies, as it also has Carl Roden as Tamaskinos' lawyer, who also played Rasputin in Hellboy, and there's also Luke Goss as Jared Nomak, the Head Reaper, who also played Prince Nuada in Hellboy 2.
Nice.
Favorite scene.
Like any good sequel, everything about this movie was made bigger and better. The action sequences, the gore, the threat level, there are a lot of great genuine horror scenes in this movie. The fight scenes between Blade and Nomak are raw and brutal. B-R-oodle. Just look at them. They're falling through the sky, and as they're falling, they're still punching each other. Now that's hardcore. But my favorite scene is what I like to call the Del Toro special. As in nearly every Guillermo del Toro movie, there is always an autopsy scene or just an exposition scene, having to deal with some weird creature being explained or dissected.
Judas evolved to mimic its predator. Us.
Here, our heroes cut open a Reaper to see what makes them tick and if they have any weaknesses. This scene uses the main cast expertly, covering a wide range of different reactions to what is being shown. You have the casual gorehound represented by Reinhardt, who's chewing bubblegum during the autopsy. Now that's funny. And of course, your atypical skittish non-horror fan, represented through Scud.
Open the mouth, Scud. Open the mouth.
B, now come on. Sissy.
Favorite line.
As usual, great lines are aplenty.
You're human.
Danny, I'm a lawyer.
Oh, and let's not forget Blade's greatest line ever.
You obviously do not know who you are fucking with!
But I'm gonna give this one to Chris, as he elaborates on his physical state after being cured from vampirism.
How do you feel?
Like hammered shit.
Final verdict.
As I said, everything in this film was improved tenfold. The costumes, the cinematography, the shot design, but as much as I love the cast, the real stars of this film are the Reapers. These are the things of nightmares. They are not the cuddly, sexy vampires that we're used to seeing. They are monsters, plain and simple. And is it just me, or is the sewer scene in this movie more like I Am Legend than the actual I Am Legend movie? Guillermo del Toro and his crew did such a fantastic job that it pains me that they didn't come back for the third installment. But it is what it is. We still have two great movies showcasing a great character that ushered in a great era in fanboy history. It's open season on all suckheads. 10 points on the badassitude meter. Load up on silver and EDTA cartridges and give it a watch. Join the Legion, suckers!
God, it'd be so easy.